Good evening, everyone. How you all doing? As always, whether you're with me live or if you're catching up on the replay, you've had a busy day, do still please give me a thumbs up and pop me a note in the comments so I know you were present, as I know a lot of you do, and I really appreciate that. It makes the lives all worthwhile to know that that you're watching, and hopefully they bring you some value as well and give you some inspiration. Tonight we'll be doing some Christmas tree earrings, which you can do really in any colour with regards to colour wire. I'm using 0.8 wire. You can just keep it plain at the top if you want to, and at the bottom is a little 6mm Czechoslovakian crystal. That's what I'm going to be showing you tonight. Now don't worry if you've never done any wire work before, you just need to make sure you've got the basic tools to be able to do it. I'm going to do it in copper because I think it's going to show up a little bit more on camera, but if you've got some coloured wires you can always use those. Just bear in mind that sometimes with the coloured wires sometimes the coat can come off. Now as we're going to be manipulating the wires, just do a little bit on a test piece, so that's just something to bear in mind. We've got round nose pliers, some earring hooks. I've got some copper earring hooks as well. What I'd suggest is that you work directly from the reel, because what that's going to do is actually give you as little wastage as possible. The tip of your round nose pliers is you form a loop. So what we actually do is we make this flat and then we actually pull it out to make the tree. So we've just made that little loop there. And what we're going to do is actually just cut in to that, just cut the end off and pull that in. And it just, that little trimming off just basically helps with getting a good start on it. What we're going to do now is you're going to clamp just over half of that loop. And then you're going to do two things. You're turning the pliers and you're guiding the wire around. So now I've taught this many times for different projects, and what most people find the most difficult is that they find that they're doing this twisting and turning and nothing's happening. So if that's the case, just literally clamp it and guide it round, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't happen super quick, take your time. Don't worry too much if you get a little bit of wavering, if the circles separate a little bit. As you start to get bigger on the loops, it starts to actually fan out a little bit more. You've got a few more gaps. Now I'm going to count the loops. I'm just doing it by eye at the moment, but would you believe this is actually going to become your tree? Now we use the same technique as we do for the coiled wire bracelets. You could always use your fingers as well if you wish. And obviously you go as big as you want the base of your tree to be. I'm just going to leave sort of 2 finger widths and trim. Let me just show you. Then this is where it kind of metamorphosizes, so to speak, that's a big word, isn't it, for a Friday, into something else. Now you can use a cocktail stick if you prefer, but I'm going to pop it on my round nose pliers and just gradually start to pull it down. Now one top tip is you might actually want to do your other one before you do this, so they're both the same size. and then you can open it up a bit and just pull it so that you have it as long as you want it. Got this little bit that we need to work with. Now this is the bit that really, in my eyes, is the fiddliest part, because let me show you the earring. Okay, so what we actually want is we want a loop at the bottom so that we can put this single thread of wire through the center. What I do first of all is turn it so that you've got your loop, okay, like so. If you want a really nice circle, again, trim that off and just pull that round again. Now what I'd suggest is that you hold on to the bottom here and just start to form a circle like so. Just small movements, and you might find that it might put your shape out slightly, and there you have your tree. Now really you want this in the center. You can just tweak that. That's the bottom, that's the top, and now what we're going to do, let's just have another look at the earring, is we're going to add a piece across the center. Form a loop first of all. I'm just going to tilt it back a little bit. There we go. So I've just formed a little loop. Now you actually want enough length to allow for your star, or if you're having a star, and your bead at the bottom, and enough to turn a loop. And a thread on. I do hope this will fit. No. Oh, that's not good, is it? Right, if you find that you've got like me and your beads do not fit, then what you could do, oh yes it does. I was going to say, how could the others fit so easy? But if that happens to you, what you could do is go down to the next size. You could go down to 0.6, or if you've got 0.7, which I must confess I don't keep in my stash. Then we're going to go from the top center to that center at the bottom, and then we're going to pop that little crystal on the end. Now this little bit is going to be like doing earrings, so I'm going to cut about 1 centimetre from the end of the bead. I'm going to turn it at a right angle, and then I'm going to turn it back. And then you might just need to rearrange the shape of it. I can see that that's not quite in the center, so I'm just going to try and ease that round a bit. There we go. And then what I would do is I would then attach the earring hook. I can either open the earring here or open it here. If I'm honest, it's always easier to open it from the other item, because you see you've got this little bead at the bottom. It becomes a bit of a nightmare because when you open it, the bead drops down and all sorts. So I'm just closing that up. There you have your Christmas tree earring. Here are the finished pieces, but I do love these little stars. They're hematite stars and they've got an electroplated finish on them as well. These cute little bead strands, you could always pop one of these teardrops at the bottom of the tree so it goes up inside the tree a little bit more. You could even use these at the top of your tree instead of the star. Thanks ever so much for joining me. You guys, you all take care, and I will see you very soon. Bye.